They say monsters are born from darkness, but sometimes they're created by gods. Long ago, before the snakes, before the stone, before the legends, there was only a girl. Her name was Medusa, and she was beautiful. Not just beautiful in the way mortals admired, but beautiful in a way that even the gods noticed, with cascading golden hair, radiant skin, and eyes that shimmered like the sea. Medusa was one of the most striking mortals to ever live. She was also a priestess of Athena, the virgin goddess of wisdom and war, and as such, she had sworn a sacred vow of purity. Her life was devoted to the goddess, and her days were spent in silence, study, and service. But not even divine vows could protect her from divine cruelty. One day, as she walked through the marble halls of Athena's temple, Poseidon, god of the sea, saw her, and he wanted her. Consumed by lust and pride, Poseidon cornered Medusa inside the very temple she had pledged her life to. And there, on the cold stone floor, under the gaze of her goddess, he violated her. It was an act of pure desecration, a crime committed by a god, but justice never came for Poseidon. Instead, it came for Medusa. When Athena saw what had been done inside her temple, she did not blame Poseidon. She turned her fury on Medusa, the victim. Some say it was jealousy, others say it was divine rage. Whatever the reason, the punishment was brutal. Athena transformed Medusa's hair into writhing venomous serpents. Her once gentle eyes were cursed so that anyone who looked into them would be turned instantly to stone. Her beauty, once praised by gods and mortals alike, became a weapon. Her face, a death sentence. And so Medusa fled, banished to a remote island far beyond the reach of civilization. There she lived in exile, away from mortals and gods. Her only companions were her immortal sisters, Stheno and Euryale, fellow Gorgons, who remained by her side. But even among monsters, Medusa stood apart, because unlike her sisters, Medusa was mortal. She could be killed, and one day, someone would try. As time passed, legends grew. Stories spread of a creature with the face of death and the eyes of doom. Heroes whispered of men who had ventured to her island and turned to stone in mid-scream. No one ever returned. Sailors spoke of a garden of statues, each one a former warrior who had dared to look upon her. Medusa became the monster in every tale, the warning in every myth, but no one ever asked why. Then came Perseus. Son of Zeus and a mortal queen, Perseus was sent on a quest by King Polydectes, a task meant to kill him, bring back the head of Medusa. But Perseus was clever, and the gods were watching. Athena, perhaps seeking to clean up her own guilt, offered Perseus a polished bronze shield to use as a mirror. Hermes gave him winged sandals for flight. Hades gave him a helm of invisibility, and Hephaestus forged a curved sword sharp enough to cut through stone itself. With these divine gifts, Perseus set off across mountains and seas, eventually reaching the desolate island of Sarpedon. There he found Medusa sleeping, surrounded by the statues of those who had come before him. Using his shield as a mirror, he crept close, never looking directly. And in one silent, fateful moment, he swung his blade. Medusa's head was severed in a single stroke. But even in death, she was not done. From her blood sprang Pegasus, the winged horse, and Chrysaor, a warrior of gold, children born from her body, fathered by Poseidon. Her death birthed myth. Perseus took her head and fled, using it as a weapon to turn enemies to stone. He used it to rescue his mother, defeat a sea monster, and turn a tyrant king to granite. Eventually, he gave the head to Athena, who placed it on her aegis, her shield, as a symbol of divine protection. And yet, this same goddess who cursed Medusa now wore her face in battle. What irony! What hypocrisy! For centuries, Medusa's story was told only in fragments, as a monster, a villain, a beast to be slain. Her humanity was erased, her suffering forgotten. But now, a new voice is rising, a voice that sees in Medusa not a monster, but a symbol. She is the embodiment of female rage, a woman punished for her own assault, a survivor transformed into a weapon, a victim blamed for what was done to her and made deadly just to ensure she was never hurt again. Medusa didn't choose to become dangerous. The gods did that, and then they made her the villain in their own story. But here's the truth. Medusa never turned anyone to stone unless they came to kill her. She didn't leave her island. She didn't seek vengeance. She hid. She survived. And for that she was hunted. Perhaps the real terror wasn't Medusa's power. Perhaps it was the fear of a woman no longer willing to be powerless. So if this story struck something in you, if ancient myths still echo with truth, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Because here we don't just tell stories, we tell the stories behind the legends. Let us know in the comments, was Medusa a monster? Or was she something far more powerful? Until next time, remember, sometimes the most dangerous thing in the world isn't a monster. It's a woman who has nothing left to lose.